Welcome to the world of Windows package management. Do you want to simplify your software installations? Meet WinGet, the tool that you need to know to succeed, to be the hero, both privately and at work. With just a few commands, you can install, find, search, manage your software. In today's video, we will explore Windows Search, your gateway to discovering new software. So let's unlock this new power WinGet together. Let's go! So, we want to search for software with WinGet. No more Googling, find the web pages, download. We're going to find it one place, and that's with WinGet. So there is a graphical interface to do that, but we're going to do it only command line. But I'll show the graphical one. So there is this winget.run web page. So you can search for software. So let's say we want to search for Slack. And we find it here. If we click on Slack, we're going to get the install command. And that's for another video, a very good video. But let's start to find the software because that's where you start before installing it, uninstalling, or whatever you want to do. So here we see already the ID. And we also see versions. This website is a bit behind because 4.28 at this recording, there are a lot later versions. But just wanted to show that there is a GUID one, winget.run. But we're going to do it command line. So let's open a terminal. And I'm going to start it as admin. It's not needed, but it's a good habit because if we later going to install software, well, then it's good to be admin. I'll maximize this one. So let's see what we got here. So if we just type winget, you can do winget.exe and then search, but you can also just type winget. I usually just type winget. Okay, so here's a complaint a bit. Hey, you didn't provide any package, so what should I search for? But it gives us all the parameter. So we're going to look a bit at find here, which is just another alias. So you could type winget find and then it works exactly the same, but I'm going to use only search. Then query is nearly optional because you can use it without, so I'm actually not going to use it. Then when you search for software, so we're going to search for Slack, which we did in the GUI in the browser. You can search either by ID, which I find pretty difficult when you don't know what it is, the ID. You can often figure the ID out. Like Google Chrome is, for example, google.chrome, but it's not always the case. And then it's the moniker. It's harder to find out. ID and name are the easiest. Then tag is basically just if a software belongs to, maybe I call my software GBN, but it is related to Slack. Then I keep the name GBN, but I tag it Slack. So if someone search on Slack, they actually find my GBN package. We're also going to look source. There are only two sources. Either it's the WinGet or it's from the MS Store. But maybe in the future they add more sources. Count, pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to show that one. And exact is very useful when you search and you want to trickle down to exactly your software. We're also going to see versions. If you don't want to install or find the latest version, that's one way to use. And we're going to look at that. And that's basically it. So I'm going to clear the screen now. I'll do a CLS, which is a PowerShell alias. Let's start. So we do a winget, and you could, I'm not going to do the exe, and we do a search. And again, we could have done find, which is the alias, and we're probably going to do that. So here, if we search, let's say we want to know about Slack. We only know we search for Slack, so we hit Slack here. And we get not so many alternatives. It's possible you get a huge list of alternatives. So here we see what we spoke about earlier. It can match the tag because this beeper has nothing in the name or the ID, but match the tag. And we have the source here. So let's say for some reason we just wanted the MS Store version when we search. This is a WinGet video, but just to show. Then we can do --source and then put MS Store. Now if we do the same search, we should only get, well, one entry, right? And we do. So this is the same entry as this one up here. But let's do the command, but instead of source ms store, we do WinGet. And now we get what we are more interested in. Let's say that we want different versions. So we can ask how many versions there are. And a lot of software providers, they only allow the latest version. So if you only see one version, that's normal, as long as it's the latest. If we're on this -- versions, I think it's with an S. If not, I remove the S. Should be, right? It's not going to give it because it found multiple packages. So it wants only one. Well, of this list, it looks like Slack, the ID is actually Slack Technology Slack. So we can take that one, and I'm going to clear the screen and we can retype everything. Then we do WinGet, and this time I use find. I said I wouldn't do it, right? But just because it works the same as search. But we should use search. Or we can use both, but I'm going to use search after. And then we can do -E, and it's something we're going to speak more about, but E means exact ID, because when we put versions, we don't want to have more that it can confuse with other who have similar names. So we want the exact name. Well, in this, not name, we want --ID. So the ID is unique. It's the same one we found when we went here. We have the -E --ID. If it's only one, you don't need the -E. It means for exact. So go back here. I paste the name. So now it should only find one, but it's not going to show the version, or it's actually just showing the latest version. Let's say for some strange reason, I'm a big fan of always use the latest, but maybe you want to test an old version. Someone have a problem saying, oh, I have this version, and you don't want the latest for that, or the latest version crashing and it's not compatible with something. For some reason, you don't want the latest. Then to see which version exists, you can do again --versions. And it didn't work the last time because I was too generic. It finds multiple. Now it finds only one. So if we hit enter here, it should list, whoa, quite a few. And so this is the latest, but if later I would like to install this version, I could, when we come to the install video later, you can do -V and then put this version. When you do install, if you don't put any version, you always get the latest. And again, some software only give the latest. We can show an example of that. I think, let me clear the screen. I think if we do WinGet, and now I go back to search, and we do ID. I don't do the exact ID this time because I think Google.Chrome, maybe I'm wrong here, it only exists one. Nope, it exists more. So let's do -E. I think Google Chrome only allowed the latest. For some reason, I didn't. Since it wants exact, I have to be case sensitive also. So I'll put there. Now we should find. Oh, so here we find. And at today's date, the latest version is 133. So if I now do --versions, I think we will only see one. Yes. So that's because Google only upload the latest. They don't want people to install the older. I'm not saying that Slack wants you to install older, but I think it's nice of them to give us the opportunity to, or the option to install the older one if we really wanted it. So that's fine. Let's see, what else can we do? If we do WinGet search, I start to say find now. I always said search before. I don't know why I should start now. We did source, we have done. We didn't do count, but I mean, that's between 1 and 1,000. If not, it lists all. I don't know why you would want to not to count all. Exact we did versions, and I mean if you're behind a proxy or something you need to that, but most people aren't, so we should be good. That's about search. So you basically search to find your software, and then you use the ID to hopefully install or something. So I'll do one more search for something. Let's do VLC, see if we get a lot of option there. Same there. Oh, great. We got this one is the ID. So And we're going to go through that in a close video to this one, which is the install. Then you would do winget install -- id, and off you go. There are more parameters, and that's for another video. I'm just curious to see if winget search, if we do -e -- paste this one and do versions, if that one have multiple versions as well. It does. Okay. Well, not all, but go back to 3.0.10. So that's very good. So that's a video about search. Let's continue in the next video, and you're gonna master WinGet, and you're not gonna regret that. That's gonna make you the hero. Okay, see you in the next video.